live stream. We are live. All right, just waiting for this last bit to load. Pretty sure that's all looking good. So, yeah, we have arrived at episode 16 of Witchy Talk. Here we are. And yeah, just coming in from the NZ all the way to you, Sophia, and the
Yeah, all
AZ.
the way to the AZ. Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Good to
Yeah.
see you, Nick, man. It's been
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, good to see you too. Yeah, it has been a while. You've been traveling around and I've been focused on my business and building all that out. But yeah, you've been on the road heaps. What's been going on
Oh
over
my
there?
gosh. Yeah, I've been roading, ah, getting out, is much needed
Yeah.
medicine. And so I've had it in mind to really connect to some ancestral lands.
Mm,
I've just been feeling that call and really that need to connect with Earth. Especially with everything we've got, going on here. It's been
mm,
um, kind of a source of anxiety, like, politically and what's going on with that whole thing.
mm,
So I just really need to get out of my head and ground in. And so things just kind of aligned to where it could happen. And I said, well, the time is now before it gets too hot. We're
yeah.
moving into our summer months here. So in Phoenix, it was like 112 the other day.
Mm,
It's been in the 90s, 100s during the day, and then the evenings are pretty cold. So it's kind of been an up and down,
mm.
hot to cold type thing, and
Yeah,
trying to balance that all out.
the
So,
intermediary. You're in spring, right? So yeah, it just kind of
mm,
like comes and goes with the temperature. Yeah.
oh, for sure, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think we had kind of a shorter, like mild winter,
Mm.
and then really no spring. It just went from like super cold, like 30, 40 degree nights to 100-degree days, and
Yeah.
um so yeah, kind of an extreme up and down, but yeah, it's all about connecting, and that has been my focus as far as connecting with some of the programs I'm working with, people,
Mm.
artists, and just bringing it together. And so yeah, I've had the opportunity to meet with some really fantastic artists, musicians, and groups, and thought, I'm going to check it out. And so
Mm.
um, visited Austin, Texas for my first time ever,
Yeah, awesome.
which is the music capital of the world. Um,
Mhm.
really fucking awesome group, Temptress out of Texas.
Mm.
Um, beautiful, beautiful human beings. And they were doing a show out there, Stoner Jam, about 20 bands in
Mm.
South Austin. And
Amazing.
it's a fucking amazing experience.
Mm.
And so, yeah, they were playing a festival there, and I really enjoyed their music. I wanted to check Kelsey Wilson. She's plays with several groups there. Temptress and Slumbering Sun. They're fucking awesome.
Mm.
Uh, Tom Frank, I met him. He puts on the festival with a group called Duel, who are on tour.
Mm.
Just amazing musicians, artists, music, beautiful human beings. Temple of Love out of Austin.
Mm.
Just really, really good people. And so it was definitely a medicine for the soul. But yeah, I ended up
Mm.
flying in, Nick. I
Mm.
ended up flying in first time to Austin. It's Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, took an early flight, and I get there and I'm like, what are all these fucking people doing here? Like, there's a lot of people. It was like 6 a.m. I'm like, there's a lot of people here for being this early.
Mm.
So I get off the plane, I catch an Uber, and he's just like, oh, yeah, there's like 300,000 people in town right now, and
Oh.
there's more coming. I was like, what? He's just like, yeah. He's like, you didn't know? This is like the biggest music festival in the world right now, and it starts today. And I'm like, what? Yeah, South by Southwest, Austin, Texas, music, art, film, cinema.
Yeah, wow.
And I had no idea.
Yeah.
Going to be a stoner jam, South Austin. I have no idea this is going on. And I'm like, welcome to Austin. It kind of hit me in the face. And I go, well,
Yeah.
shit, I'm here. So yeah, it was pretty freaking rad.
Is that more
Essentially,
mainstream music though? South by Southwest,
oh,
or is it more alternative?
everything,
Oh wow. Yeah.
everything, man. Oh, dude. Yes. So I'm downtown and it's like they're starting to barricade off literally every venue, every bar, every restaurant had some type of art exhibit, music, show going
Mm,
on. Car manufacturer doing, I mean, it was fucking wild.
mm,
And downtown, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get out of here because no cars can go through. And I guess I'm gonna have to walk, you know. Good thing I got my boots on. So I'll just see where the road leads me, which has
yeah.
been freaking awesome.
Mm,
And downtown, they're doing this bat tour, which I am batty for bats. And I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, man. And it was a sunset bat tour. So I'm in Arizona, which
mm,
second state to Texas for the most species of bats. I'm really big into bat
mm,
conservation. And so
mm.
Texas is the state for bats. And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm downtown.
Yeah.
The bat tour going on. It's a sunset bat tour. I'm like, I'm here, dude. Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I'd be there with it. I'd be there
You know
with
what I'm
you.
saying? And it's on this lake with this bridge and the sun is setting. So like the light from the buildings were mirrored. So you can
Mm,
see the sun setting, like the peach and the oranges and the purples and the blues just like
mm,
reflecting on the water.
beautiful.
I was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And the tour guide had this little like John boat, like a smaller boat. There might have been, I don't know, 10 of us on there with bat, like the canopy was a structured bat. I was, this is badass, dude.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is fucking rad, you know? Like, hey.
Yeah.
So I'm like, gotta do it. And yeah, it was really cool. So it was supposed to be like an hour tour. We'll come to find the guy was so passionate about bats. He was also into conservation and he had been doing the tours for like 15 years. And he's like, if you don't mind, I'd really just like to take you guys out. Well, fuck yeah, dude.
Mm.
So the 1 hour tour ended up being like 3.5 hours. We're out on this lake.
Wow.
And I guess people come here during like summer and fall is there's millions of bats flying out of
Mm.
this bridge. Well,
Wow.
we didn't see millions. We saw about probably like 500,000 baby bats.
Oh wow. Oh my
These
gosh.
baby bats were just learning how to fly.
Oh, that would have been so amazing.
They were emerging for their first time, and it was so fucking cool, Nick, man. It was so
Mm.
cool. I'm like, dude, I am seeing a bat emerging and learning how to fly. And it could just, oh, it was rad. He took us
Wow.
under the bridge and over and through little coveys in the trees. And I mean, and the sunset. And I'm like, this is freaking cool.
Yeah.
So I'm just like stoked.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I got to find something to do, you know. I was really alert and feeling good after that. And I'm like, I guess I got to walk. So next thing you know, I'm walking on Congress over this bridge and I start hearing this music playing. I start hearing some Jimi Hendrix playing
Yeah.
and like from several blocks away.
Oh,
And I'm like, I gotta check this out. I don't know where it's coming from, but I gotta check it out. It's a place called Friends and this guy is freaking rocking it. One hand playing some Jimi Hendrix. I mean, just ripping it. So I step into this bar and I'm there for several hours and they're just playing all these hits.
oh
And I'm
wow.
like, this is freaking cool.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because I'm a night owl. At this time, I'm awake. And I find this Austin Ghost Tour, right? I'm like,
Mm.
totally fucking up my alley.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, gonna do it. Hey, we've got one spot left and it starts at 9. I'm like, I've got about 15 minutes. So I'm like, I'm gonna guess I'm walking to this ghost tour. So I'm booking it online. I show up and the guy that was supposed to do it, I guess he got turned around. So next thing you know, I'm in this back alley speakeasy where they're doing this like paranormal chat in these built historic buildings from like the 1900s. A lot of I mean the architect Gothic architecture and all this. I mean, it's just fucking beautiful, right?
Mhm.
Like this is wild.
Wow, incredible, amazing.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find this place, right? And this kid shows up and he's like, "Well, I'm filling in for the ghost tour guy got turned around, but I'd still like to offer you guys the tour." And it was myself and a young family, a husband and a wife and three kids.
Yeah.
So he's like, "It's just us. If you guys are still open for it, I'll do it." And the kid was from England, so he was way into the history. And an hour tour ended up turning into 3.5 hours. We're moving into the midnight hour now, and we end up going to several stops and like this Paramount Theater, the State Theater, this beautiful hotel, which I ended up having brunch at the next day because it was just so amazingly fucking awesome. The
Yeah.
Driscoll in Austin. So we're in these places and there's like nobody in there. So we're doing kind of like the background tour and seeing all this
Mhm.
history and getting all of it. And I was like, this
That's
is freaking radical.
fuck yeah, that is so incredible.
Radical. So I'm like, I finish it up, and this speakeasy I was at, I start to hear electronic music playing, right?
Well,
And I'm like, I gotta go back to that place because I love to dance.
mm,
And I'm like, I gotta find that place again. And so I'm like, I'm determined at this point to go hear some electronic music.
mm,
And so when I go there, it's Berlin House with a female DJ from Berlin.
mm. Oh wow.
And there's these people from all over the world here at this festival. And
Mm.
these kids were like, we want to dance. I'm like, heck yeah. Who were also from Berlin. So now we're dancing. And I'm like, this is badass.
Yeah.
And so then, long story short, the weekend just unfolded like that.
Yeah.
And we met some local crew who were like, we still want to keep dancing. So the locals take us through this basically back alleys with a red light
Mm,
at the corner, like literally walking through alleyways. And it was just wild, Nick. It was
mm,
wild. Next thing you know, we're at this underground basement
mm.
with drum and bass and jungle. I mean, so
So good.
we're there till like 6 in the morning, crawling out of there like vampires. And yeah, it was freaking rad. And so the whole weekend just unfolded like that. I made it to the jam and it was like, welcome to Austin. Just met some really great people. And I mean, I saw everything from blues to jazz to rock, alternative, grunge, industrial, EBM, electronic, um, doom, metal, and it was all weekend just packed up
Wow.
full of spots like that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, ended up at another show, met some other DJs that I've followed that have done work with some really fantastic industrial groups I'm into.
Mm.
Met Garth. I ended up at his bar of Enforcer.
Mm. Oh my
Know you
gosh.
from somewhere. So he's
Yes.
like, yeah, this is my bar. And I'm like, fucking crazy of all places. Here I am. So, I mean, it was just wild.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I gotta fly out because it's gonna be St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here before shit gets real crazy.
Yes.
And where I was staying, I find that like one of my most loved like melodic death metal groups, Obscura from Germany,
Mm. Mm.
is in town.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of one of those things. And
Yes.
yeah, I came back home and it's just been rolling. It just so happened that, all of my favorite groups are in town and got to see Dark Tranquility and finally meet those guys and Soen and
Amazing.
Lacuna Coil,
Yeah.
and it's been fucking rad,
So many
and
synchronicities as well,
a,
right? Like when you
a
just get
lot of
that, like
stuff.
timing is always right. Like you said, the weekend just like completely unfolded like that. Yeah, it's just, you know that you're
Oh,
just in sync with like fucking all the cool shit happening.
And it was literally the timing, the days where it was stacked like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just roll with it. And for me, when I say getting out of my head, it's like sometimes just relinquishing the control and letting go and let the
Mm,
road lead you where you need to be.
mm,
And so I end up in San Diego, California, and I'm like, dude, so as you know, I'm into bats and gargoyles, right? And I'm
yeah.
like, I look, Stone IPA Brewery, their whole mascot is gargoyles.
Oh, wow. Cool.
And so I'm
Fuck yeah.
standing in front of the building where I'm at, like
Mm.
from the hotel. I'm like, what are the fucking chances of this? And I'm looking at these brick buildings because I love architecture. And on the wall is painted, "You are right where you need to be."
Oh my gosh,
I'm
that's
like,
amazing.
yes, I am. Actually, I am where I need to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been kind of one of those things, man. Just rolling with it, just letting it unfold. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we two ended up at another spot with um house music playing and industrial. It was literally like just one right after another. And
Yeah.
yeah, had a blast, rocking out, jamming out, dancing, good workout, and
Yeah.
all connections, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's times of our life, you know. I've been processing grief with the loss of my aunt recently and a couple of friends, and so I really have felt that they have been with me.
Mm,
And a lot of things have aligned, like I was sharing with you earlier when we got on a photo that was shared with me, and things that really it was like, I know you are with me. Like that it's
mm,
just
mm,
it's wild. Um, in the midst of it all, so I'll get back into town and I end up in Denver
mm,
with Onslaught UK and
mm,
the Nige Rocket with Onslaught UK and Warlord and
amazing.
beautiful and amazing human beings.
Mm.
And so had not been there. And outside of my view is the Capitol building with the huge Gothic cathedral.
Oh, amazing. Oh, wow.
And so, yes, throughout these trips, I was surrounded by beautiful architecture and cathedrals.
Oh, amazing.
And oh,
Mm,
yeah.
mm.
So I'm like, and it's literally like outside the balcony I'm like framed in the picture. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
this is fucking rad. So, I did a lot of photography, walking out at night. Like, I just love seeing the lights with the stained glass and
Mm,
everything.
of course. Yeah.
And yeah, Nick, so that weekend was Easter weekend. People were celebrating Easter. And so a lot of like the older, like the Catholic churches were
Mm,
actually doing a service I had not ever seen performed before.
mm,
So like the evening before Easter or Resurrection Day, they do this night ritual,
mm.
essentially where they set up cauldrons
Oh,
in
wow.
front of the churches, and they burn a big fire
Mm,
because it's like from what I was reading, it's like the time between light and dark and the resurrection. And
mm,
I'd never witnessed anything like that, but because we were out at night, I was like,
mm.
this is wild.
That's
This
so
is
cool.
wild, man.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so really, really cool stuff like that. And I mean, the architecture and the stained glass, like, I
Oh,
really think
I
it
love
really,
it.
yeah, do
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Oh, it just
Yeah.
transports you back in time and you can just appreciate like the detail that was taken to create something
Oh
like
my
that then, you know?
God.
Like it just really yeah, it just ripples something else through you, right? When you see that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
And
mm,
they did a really good job of they were marked landmarks. So where I
mm,
was at, it was like 13 different historical landmarks, all
mm.
within like a couple blocks that I just went walking around, and it actually showed like this was, started construction in 1808 by this guy. The stonework was taken from here. The masonry was done here. And I just thought it was a beautiful way that they were able to commemorate that, where I
Mm.
really was transported back into that timeline of history.
Wow. Incredible.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Mm.
was pretty fantastic
Mm.
actually.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
um, yeah, and so I had in mind to visit these indigenous ruins, and 'cause I just got back into town, and
Mm.
um I was like, kind of mapped it out and just kind of saw search what was around me, right? Like what is in my area, what
Yeah,
makes
as you
sense as
do.
far as the
Yeah,
route.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had it in mind to visit some into vinyl, Wax Trax. So Wax
Mm.
Trax is a label that's put on a lot of like industrial bands that are Ministry, Front 240, like a lot of like the pioneers of that genre.
Mm.
Um, and that's in Chicago. And I was like, I've always wanted to go there, but I know there's one here in Denver because
Mm.
I'd passed it like on the Uber ride, and I was like, I got to remember that.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So, longer story short, I'm like, I should probably get something to eat before I get back on the road here. And again, another freaking badass cathedral
Mm.
that I mean, so I'm like, I was just in awe. It was definitely a Sophie trip. It was like if I could paint or plan the trip and like all the stuff I want to see, like
Yeah.
I mean, historic theaters and a fucking badass pizza spot and a beautiful cathedral. I mean, it was just like, yes, yes, this is
Yes,
badass.
exactly. Wow.
So I'm walking around 13th Avenue, Nick,
Mm.
wax tracks. I go, no fucking way. Because it wasn't even the one I passed by,
You just
but there was
stumbled on
another
it.
one there.
You just
You get
stumbled
what
on
I'm
it.
saying? I'm like, what the heck, dude? What? I'm like, I gotta do it.
It's
I
the
gotta do
way.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, I gotta do it. I'm like, I don't know if I really need more vibe, but I gotta step in here. I mean, because I'm here.
Yeah, definitely.
Huge painting, a beautiful mural of Lemmy
Mm.
outside. I mean, just the beautiful
Yeah.
art on the buildings. I'm like, yes, this is the spot right
Yeah.
here.
Mm, that's calling you.
Oh,
Yes.
dude. So I
Singing
walk
your
in there,
name.
dude. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, okay, yeah,
I have arrived.
yeah. So, man, Nick, I walk in there and I'm chatting with the guy and I'm into, industrial and, wax tracks, Chicago. I'm like, I would love to make it to the original wax tracks. And, he's like, you're standing in it. He's like,
Ah,
this is the original.
oh,
This is the
wow.
original story. He's like, they started in Chicago with the record label and the music, but he's like, this is the original vinyl record wax track store. What the fuck? I'm like,
Oh
dude,
my God.
okay.
Oh, that is so
Yeah,
epic. Fuck, that's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
super freaking cool. And I did end up having some lunch at a Jewish deli. I had some salmon lox,
Mm.
and the baristas there were serving chai, and they were like, here, they were gifting me chai, which is my favorite tea in the whole world. It is
Mm.
comfort for me. And I was like, this is the spot.
Yeah.
This is the spot. And it was just,
Yeah.
yes,
I
yeah.
love
So
that. Yeah.
absolutely wonderful. And yeah, so I finished off my trip. I've been thinking about my aunt that
Mm.
passed, and it had come on a year, and I just really, really felt that she was with me.
Mm.
And so I do a lot of like clearing, like clearing my head and listening to music, especially on longer drives. It was like a 14-hour drive for me. So I made a couple stops,
Mm.
and I'm like, okay, I need to figure out kind of where I'm at and what's the fast track, back. And I pull up the map, Nicola, and there is a sanctuary I have been wanting to visit for like 10 years.
Mm.
And I kind of forgot about it.
Mm.
I didn't know exactly where it was. I thought it was kind of up towards northern Arizona. So when I pull up the map, 33 miles. The name is Sanctuary de Chimayó, and it's an adobe structure that was built in the 1800s,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's in my route. I'm
Mm.
like, that cannot be the same place. That cannot be the same place. Like, because I'm like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna map it 33 miles. I'm like, just outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico, which again, totally a Sophie trip. Like if I could have planned it, that would have been the trip I would plan. And I'm also fascinated by railroads.
Mm,
And my grandfather did work on the railroads. And so very just a lot of people I've had in mind. So next thing you know, I'm at the Santa Fe like railway, like the
mm.
original, like I mean, just the way it unfolded.
Yeah,
And I'm
amazing.
like, I gotta check out if this place is the same place. And you
Yeah.
know what? I'm just gonna drive there. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, it was, and it just blew my fucking mind, dude.
Oh,
I
wow.
I I mean, it was just amazing,
Mm,
amazing, and yeah, I had stopped and parked to brew some coffee. I kind of have a pour over, and I love my coffee and my teas, and
mm,
um, I usually carry like tea bags with me and honey and stuff. And I open my backpack, and
mm,
inside my backpack is a pink envelope.
mm.
I opened it. It's a picture of my aunt.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So
She
you had
had
it.
been with me. She had
Yeah.
been with me all along, and I've
Yeah.
had that backpack. I've had that stuff in that backpack I just grabbed on my way out for over a year, and it
Mm,
had been a year that she passed.
yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm like, and she was a devout Catholic, so it was like a Catholic sanctuary and mission. But the
Mm,
building itself, I mean, I'm just blown away. I'm blown away.
mm.
I think 1818 or 1808,
Oh, yeah. Wow.
and the structure is still standing, and it's made out of adobe.
That's incredible. Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
outside of the building, they had altar,
Mm,
multiple altars with just candles, um, different gardens to visit, a whole walkway area that ran along the Santa Cruz River. So you had the element of
mm,
water. And it was just, I spent all day there on the
yeah.
grounds through the
Yeah.
evening.
Amazing.
Um, Actually, I think we were the last people in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Um, but I ended up staying there through the evening, and because these candles were lit, the whole grounds were surrounded by altars and hundreds
Oh,
and
wow.
hundreds of candles
Oh,
with
wow.
beautiful stonework and sculptures. And I mean,
That would have been incredible. Amazing. Yeah.
it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And
Beautiful.
I had some moments in there that really, I mean, so this room, I'll share with everyone. This room,
Mm,
the original structure. So when I had heard about this place, one of my friends, her son was doing religious studies here at the NAU,
mm,
and he said he had told me he visited this sanctuary, and it's been about probably 10, maybe 12 years. And I'm
mm,
like, that sounds like a pretty cool place to visit because I love history and
mm.
cathedrals and all of it. And I go, I'll have to keep that in mind, but it's been that long.
Yeah.
So one of the structures you enter, and they don't want any like photography or filming because it's like a sacred place.
Mm,
They have a smaller altar set. It blows my mind. Like it literally moving through my body. Like
mm,
I've had dreams of being in that building. Like so my friend I had asked to ride with me, he shared with me like the same experience I had, he had. And he's like, something just came over me. And he had shared, I've had dreams of being in this building with you.
oh, whoa. Wow. So you had shared dreams?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
yeah,
Crazy.
it's wild.
Yeah.
So in this building they call it the well, the pote, right? So you go in there, this adobe structure, and it's a hole in the ground in the earth, right? Of
Mm,
dirt,
mm,
of healing dirt. And the it's a well of dirt, Nicola, that you are people come in and they will take some of this dirt.
mm.
So you go in this room and we waited and it was just us and we kind of like looked at each other like, and then he shared with me like, I've been here with you before, and I'm like, I had the same feeling. The
Mm.
dirt does not end.
Oh, really?
It just keeps replenishing itself.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is
Mm,
a never ending well. So people had been there
mm,
all through, and this is Easter weekend, and
mm,
we're there on Easter.
mm.
So and there's multiple sanctuaries in the grounds as I'm sharing. And so I'm like, I want to see the history of this and beautiful art and
Yeah,
I
wow.
mean, the whole thing. So I ended up chatting with the priest who was there. He was still there in his office, and I go, "May I have a word with you? I'm here visiting me, and my aunt was a devout Catholic, and here I am. I wanted to come here." So we got to talk. So, oh yeah, absolutely. There were some over like 10,000 visitors there that day,
Oh, wow.
and this dirt
And so
is
everyone takes a bit of dirt. Wow. And it never seems to go down.
it does not.
Wow, that is so crazy. Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, they had little shovels and then some information on the dirt and how it's like very spiritually healing.
Yeah.
And we had been there, and I had walked, maybe seen like 100 people in there before us. There everybody was respectful of each other and their time in there, to pray or
Mm.
to visit the space. So everybody was kind of let everybody visit. Anyhow, I yeah, the whole trip was just mind blowing. It was just mind blowing like that. And
Yeah, wow.
there I didn't make it to the pueblos I wanted to visit where my ancestors are from, but
Mm.
I did meet some local natives on my way down who again we connected, and they said next time you're in town give us a call because there's these mesas and we do these ritual powwows
Mm.
during certain times of the year. So come back and visit. So
Ah,
even though I didn't make it to the Pueblo, I made it to these other beautiful spaces and
yes.
places and met some locals who were like, come and visit us at one of our festivals. So
Oh,
I,
that's
I just,
beautiful. Yeah.
yeah. And dark skies.
Mm.
So, yeah, on the way out, I stopped at the top of the hill and I just took some moments to like regroup and just take in all that had happened because it was like a lot.
Yeah.
I was like
Yes.
like so unbelievable, like so surreal, like but
Yeah.
it really happened. Like pinch me, am I awake?
Yeah.
And I took some photos and I'm like, I'm not sure how they're gonna turn out, because it was
Mm.
really dark.
Mm.
So when I had got home, I went through the photos and the stars are so freaking clear. Like
Mm.
we
Wow.
have so much going on in the astro. We were talking about the Pleiades and stuff, and
Mm.
so many clear constellations that was like that was like the icing on the cake. It was
Yeah.
like these freaking stars are out of the world, like literally, like you could just stretch up and reach them. And so I was kindly reminded to keep looking up,
Yeah.
shoot for the stars and
Mm.
look beyond, and go within and go without bounds. And
Mm.
um, it was definitely it was medicine, it was needed medicine. And so
Yeah.
yeah, I've just been so thankful and so grateful. And when things unfold like that, it reminds me that it's an affirmation, that
Mm.
when you learn to let go and like we say, let it go and let it flow, that
Mm. Yeah.
You just trust the process,
Yeah.
and
Exactly. Everything shows up, when when you surrender and just go with it. That's amazing. That's
mm,
like, like a true testament to how that can all just
absolutely.
evolve like that. Yeah. Wow.
And it's in its timing, but I think
Mm.
somewhere I know for me, like in my human self, if I go in my head and overanalyze or overthink it, like, but
Mm.
if you don't think it and you're like, okay, universe, I'm here. What do I
Yeah.
need to,
Mm.
and you show up right where you're supposed to be.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's pretty fantastic.
Mm.
So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of traveling, distance
Mm.
traveling, soul traveling,
Yeah.
timeline traveling, in between traveling.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's been
Yeah.
fantastic. It really was needed. So
Mm.
um yeah, we moved into a spring, and I really wasn't feeling it because the time was so short as far as the transition from a mild winter to spring. But
Mm.
I did in instance feel that support from
Mm.
the universe and the elements, that really, that springing forward,
Yeah,
that
totally.
regeneration. And
Yeah.
um so in a way I was able to celebrate that elementally, and that was just amazing.
But it's
Yeah.
like that springing forward, as in like the next thing is happening and the next thing is happening and the next thing is happening. Like it's not winter anymore where you're just like, I'm just going to do this one thing and then, just focus on, what I need to do for myself. It's like, no, there's an evolution, there's the next thing, and there was just so many things that all like evolved out of it. So that's like, yeah, the fire horse energy as well, right?
Well, yeah, we were talking about that, the fire horse and like
Yeah.
galloping, like
Yeah.
that gallop, sustained gallop.
Momentum.
And so
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That momentum, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. Totally.
it was just absolutely beautiful. So I am
Mhm.
so thankful to all the gods and the guides and the goddesses that have led me right to where
Mm.
I needed to be.
Mm-mm.
I think when we allow ourselves to really just be open to that, we are fed, in such a way that is, for me, it was, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, like very healing. And going through that final stretch of the shedding of the snake, and that last transition was a lot. It was a lot of closing up
Mm.
and moving forward, into this coming full moon we had in April, and
Mm.
new moon coming up here in a couple of days. Is It's been a lot of karmic closing and like
Mm.
restructuring and fully letting go to move forward into the next phase. And so
Yeah.
I'm so thankful, one, to have an open heart and mind, to be open to those experiences, and allowing yourself to be led there. I affirm to this, and yes, can be a testament to it, that if you allow yourself to go there, then you can indeed grow there. And um, yes, most definitely, yes.
Yeah.
So yes, Nicola, that's
Yeah.
been part of the adventure. And so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Just the
thankful for it.
evolution of Sophia.
Yes, really good art, buildings, music, people, like on
Yeah.
so many different levels and so
Yeah.
many different layers, and good food and good company,
Good
and just,
people. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
that. Heck yeah.
That's
Heck
awesome.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Um, yes, yes, I topped it off with a sweet treat.
Yeah.
So ended up in a candy store,
Mm.
and my first time visiting
Mm.
this Seas Candy, and the young girl's name translated to beautiful, because I asked her, what does that mean? I'm fascinated by names.
Yeah.
But I walked in there and she's like, would you like to try some samples? Would you like to try this? Would you? And I'm like, I am just like, oh my gosh, this is so heavenly delicious.
Yeah.
And I got to sharing how I've been on this trip, thinking of my aunt, because she was wearing a breast cancer pin, and my aunt had
Mm.
passed of breast cancer.
Mm.
And she goes, oh girl, she's like, I just want to share with you that like your energy is so fantastic. She's like, you've
Mm.
absolutely made my day. And
Mm.
I'm like, well, you've made my day. She's like, I really like, keep my energy in check, and like try to like, she's like, but you have like matched my energy. And it's been so awesome to see that mirror. And I think you're freaking amazing. And I'm like, right back at you, girl.
Oh, I
You
love
know,
that.
and like, I was like, "Dude, that is like literally a sweet way to top
Yeah.
it off." So
It's
like,
such a cool way to top it off.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
love that.
heck yeah, so sometimes you could be in the midst of things and not recognize like the influence that
Mm.
you can have on somebody just from being yourself, like, and sometimes I think we can forget that,
Yeah. You can get bogged down with so many things, and it's especially, like you said, the reason why you did the trip is, because of everything, many reasons, but, grounding to get away from that political aspect and, but not letting that cloud your experiences
yeah,
what you had. And that's that acceleration of, creation and then new beginnings. And it's like a new version of you being, birthed as well
absolutely,
through all
absolutely.
of the different transitions. And, we have like a mirroring of things that we've, experienced through the past. And it's just like you said about the shedding of the snake, and there's just all these like new layers that are shifting for just beautiful expression of self to connect with people, and I think that
Hmm.
what you just expressed about genuinely sharing with someone, that networking, you just build community in that way, and
Absolutely.
that's just, yeah, such a beautiful affirmation of your life experience to have that reflection from that person. So it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was
Yeah.
definitely finished with the cherry, literal cherry cordial. And
Yeah.
yeah, I was just, and for me, Nicola, it was difficult in the sense initially kind of scary to take a trip because what we got going on here in the States is just fucking insanity.
Mm,
It's it
it
is
really is.
it is some of the craziest shit I've ever seen, like
Mm,
with all of it.
yeah.
So for me as a woman traveling and me and as a minority woman traveling like across multiple states and like it was really scary. But
Mm,
I had to like tell myself like Sophia, do it. Like,
mm,
because um finding healing in different ways,
mm,
knowing where it could take me.
mm,
Because I think I shared previously on a podcast how I dealt with some things where I was actually arrested and detained.
mm.
Um, and that was a very traumatizing experience for me.
Huge.
Um,
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
yeah. And I didn't realize how traumatic
mm,
experience it really was for me.
mm,
Um, so I had to face some deep, dark stuff and triggering stuff and stuff that just flat out made me fucking angry.
mm,
And had a lot of anxiety attached to it because of what is going on and because of how dehumanizing it is and how it can, for me, like in a sense, I was feeling very isolated and
mm,
very scared and
mm,
very anxious. And I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't want to even drive because
mm,
it was that scary for me.
mm.
And so it was a big leap of courage for me to say, you know what? No, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, of course, totally. But having the right alignment, within what you'd worked through, just meant that everything unfolded, yeah, perfectly. The most amazing ways.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. I'm thankful and grateful, most definitely. And
definitely.
yeah, sometimes we got to push ourselves outside of that zone and face some things that could be
Yeah.
very scary,
Uh,
which
yeah,
may turn
definitely.
into something very beautiful.
Yeah, beyond the comfort zone, right? Beyond the limits that we create for ourselves. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I've experienced
Absolutely.
that recently with what I've been working on and, all the in-person events that I've been putting on. And it's like, okay, now I'm talking to 10 people and doing public speaking, essentially, that I've like never in my, wildest dreams thought that I would, or nightmares thought that I would be capable of,
Right.
because that's like the fear of public speaking. And, I failed English at high school because I just refused to do speeches. I refused to stand up in front of the class and talk, and
Oh,
just was so fearful of judgment or criticism or whatever, or just didn't want to be the focal point. But then the evolution of everything that I'm wanting to do and create for people is like, okay, so I've put on this event and now 10 people have booked. But there was just no time to think about it. You get there, you set up, and then people
absolutely.
arrive, and you just all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're doing it. And you're like, halfway through, I was like, I'm doing a really good job right now. And
That's
then
freaking
that's the
rad.
only thought around that I got to have. And then it was, oh yeah, back into it, and hosting and having people engaged in what I was saying, and guiding through the tarot talks, that we set up and started online, and now these in-person ones have evolved into, yeah, being the offering that most people are picking up on. Right, I've done
Yeah.
meditations and I've done other things, but the tarot talks keep selling out, and people were like, "Oh no, if that one's sold out, I want to book the next one. When's the next date?" And then the next one starts filling out before I've even started promoting it. And so there's just like this ripple on effect of like, yeah, getting beyond the comfort zone and getting out of, what is the restriction? Like, why do I have that comfort zone? What is the trigger, or what is it around, speaking or sharing that is, had me so fearful? And I mean, it's the number one fear for, the majority of the population, higher than death, usually public speaking. I'd rather
Yeah.
die than public speak,
Right.
What is your number one fear? Public speaking. What is your number two fear? Dying. So, I feel like and the evolution of that shift in perspective, or the shift in in the alignment, but it hasn't just been like overnight, there's been the synchronicities of setting up the inner city sanctuary, and
Oh, for
under
sure.
hipster, and the alignment with that, like I didn't even go into hipster with the mindset of applying for a job. I was just shopping in there one day, and I just happened to ask, and the chick I spoke to, Halia, was like, "Oh, I've just put in my maternity leave literally today, so you could probably, you know, get an
Yeah.
interview." And just the timing, like it wasn't overthought. It wasn't like, oh, I want to work at this store, and overthinking it or trying to plan the best way to do something. It just happened naturally and organically, and so the evolution of that, and then putting on the readings and doing the Fortune Friday and the readings from there, that I didn't do that
Mm.
straight away. I got integrated into the store and met the customers and got to know the other staff members more first, and then the evolution of that happened. And I'd worked up to, how I thought, the layout would be the best, and I wrote a proposal, and I sent the proposal to the owner of the store, and she said, "Oh, she rang me straight away, and she said, 'Oh, you can start this Friday if you want.'" It was
Yes.
like Tuesday, and she's like, "You can start on Friday if you want." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yes.
Shit, I need to get more, there's momentum because you're just like following the natural rhythm of like what feels natural. And then the evolution of that was then when the store in town became available, and there was the space underneath, there was the evolution of that as well, of like, well, that'd be a great healing space, you're just saying. And then each step, each thing just everything kept moving towards that happening, and so
Hmm.
um there were a couple of things that didn't work out that we wanted to set up in there, and the owner of the business said something um that really landed with me and has stayed with me now. And it's like, you keep the forward momentum, and if you hit a roadblock, then don't dwell on it. Like, you just shift perspective and you keep going. Like, you don't ruminate on like why it didn't work. It's just like, okay, that's not the way we're going, and you redirect, and you're like, this is where we're going now, and you just keep going. Like, you don't, that roadblock doesn't mean that you stop for 6 months and think, oh, it didn't work, because
Wow.
because the one
Yeah.
thing or the one idea that you thought that you had in place. And and then, yeah, after she said that, and I've kind of thought about it and reflected on things that I've done in the past, and was like, actually, I think I did do that. Like, I hit a roadblock, and I kind of let it be the end of the thing, rather than continuing to have a
Oh,
new idea or redirect it, right? And so,
yes.
yeah, so it's like, it's like the not overthinking, where you're going or what you're doing, or trying to overplan your trip. Like you said, like, everything just evolved, and it's because if one thing doesn't work out, you don't dwell on it, you just focus on the next thing, right? And so, yeah, I think there are a couple of events that I've done where it's like, oh, you know there's hasn't been anyone that hasn't actually gone ahead, because that energy wasn't aligned. And it's like, don't dwell on it, just be like, okay, what is working, focus on that more. And the tarot talks is just like, what is like really, yeah, really landing for a lot of people. And
Beautiful.
people want to learn these new techniques around the, yeah, all the symbology and all the things that we love with the tarot. So,
Freaking
yeah. So
amazing.
I've just been like really been focusing on that heaps, for myself, and noticing now, if that block does come up, it's like, actually just redirect, and find what the next thing is that, has the excitement around it. So, yeah, that's been a lot of planning with the events, and putting on different things and experimenting with different things, like a weekday meditation that I'm going to put on, for people in their lunch break, and see how that goes, and
Yeah,
evening events, and just start experimenting now more with, yeah, different offerings, and seeing how that lands for people, and the people that I meet, and you know that come along to the
absolutely.
events is the, yeah, is the way, is the thing, totally, yeah, so it's,
Yeah, see what works, right? See what sticks.
yeah, so it really feels like there's like momentum behind that, because everything's just, yeah, like you say, continually landing, and there's no overthinking. It's just the next thing and the next thing, and then on to the next thing. And everything kind of stacks nicely. There's no friction, the friction hasn't
Exactly.
arrived. So it's like,
That's exactly it.
you keep following it like your road trip, like, it's, yeah. And that's the same with like building out what I'm building out now. And, yeah, things keep aligning.
Yeah, it is kind of a road trip, right? I mean,
Yeah,
life.
it's still a
Yeah,
road
it's a
trip.
road trip. Sometimes you might have it mapped out. Like, for me, it's like, well, I would like to visit this place. I had that in mind, but the plans didn't go that way, but they
Yeah.
went even better,
Yeah, so
It's
you
like,
did the redirect, right? It's like, well, let's just
yeah,
go with it. Yeah,
don't
don't,
get hung up on that. But,
yeah,
where's the road gonna lead me? And perhaps it's right where you need to be.
yeah, no hang-ups.
Um,
Yeah.
but you mentioned something, as far as keeping that forward momentum, like your friend had shared with you, you find that roadblock. So what moment
Mm,
that we may find ourselves like maybe the expectation was this, and
mm,
I'm so strung up on the fact that I expected things or wanted things to go a certain way and it wasn't quite going that way.
mm,
So therefore, because that's an evolution as well, right? Like
mm.
seeing that now I'm not no longer just saying, oh, I'm going to give up on it because it didn't go the way I was expected,
Mhm.
but maybe it's going to lead me somewhere else.
Yeah, well, exactly. Totally. And if you have that change in perspective as well, like sometimes we're like so in what we're creating that we don't see the other opportunities. So then it's like getting a different perspective on what we're creating.
Yeah.
If there's a roadblock, for instance. So yeah, I think it's like not like you said, yeah, not being hung up on things being the way you thought, like the assumption of what you thought it would be is something that you got to break down.
Yeah. I mean, because our minds can only capacitate so much in the sense of maybe it's like based on a previous experience or what maybe I saw in a picture or maybe what I expected in my mind. But
Yeah.
perhaps we are pushed to look further beyond that and be offered. I, I mean, for me, I'm blown away as far as any expectations by having no expectations, right? I mean, just showing up and you're like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Where do I need to go with this,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Um,
But
yeah,
so many
because
people
you,
feel like you need a plan, right? And I used to be like that too. It's just
uh-huh,
like, what do you mean I just show up and then, like, but what? But that's the anxiety, right? So if you can, yeah, feel that anxiety is like lessened so much for me now that it's okay, you feel safe just showing up because you trust yourself. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's the key. And I think when we both met and we both started, like we were dealing with similar situations with that. And
Yeah.
it's like that kind of like there's a rigidity to it, like in
Mm,
that structure of maybe feeling like I have to be so in control because of previous situations or instances that happened
mm,
that I'm like, I'm not going to allow that to happen again. So now I have to like be over control or over
mm,
like, in the sense of wanting to control the aspect of it, but by not allowing for that movement or that openness, um, do you see the synchronicities happening, right? Do
mm.
things flow if you
Yeah.
can't let go, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, that's where it gets rigid, right? And you miss the opportunities, which I've experienced, many years ago. You think, oh gosh, if I had have been there, a few hours earlier, then or things didn't
Right,
quite line up, right?
right.
Because there's anxiety in the way, and you're not just following the natural excitement and forward momentum and flow, and then the anxiety creates friction, and so you're not quite in alignment. So yeah,
Yes,
totally.
yes,
Totally. So, but that comes with, the experiences, like what we, kind of bonded over because of the similar experiences when we first started really connecting. It's like, but those things have an impact on the way that you experience the world because they're so, interwoven into like your identity and stuff. So it's like an unraveling of like how you just be in the world without needing to know everything and just things
absolutely.
things can come, right? But if you're like so rigid and needing to know everything, I'm going on a trip towards the end of the year, and I'm going to be going to Thailand and potentially going into Cambodia and then going to Bali as well. And my friend that I'm going with, she said, what do you like traveling? Do you need to have like a full itinerary or schedule? And I'm like, no, no, no. No, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. It's okay. She's like, okay, so you're a casual traveler. So, if we miss the taxi, we know there's going to be another one. Or we miss the bus, there's going to be another one. It's not going to be a big deal. Whereas, like, some people traveling, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck, we've missed the bus. And then the whole world,
Oh yeah.
that whole day is
Oh
ruined
yeah.
because of the schedule. And I'm like, no, 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 I'm not like that. It's okay. I'm pretty
Yes.
chill. But allow it to unfold. And like you're like, I kind of want to go here, I want to go there. Like these are the things I want to do. They're on my maps, but like whatever happens, and like the same thing, you end up being like, oh, I'm going with these people to get here, and then you look on the maps, and you're like, oh, the thing I wanted to go see is right here. Okay, sweet. I can do that thing, rather than like
Exactly.
fully planning out the whole day because then that rigidity loses the spontaneity and the universe showing you a fucking cool bat tour and then a fucking haunted
Oh yeah.
paranormal thing, like all of
Oh,
those things that can just show up. Yeah,
oh,
totally.
for sure.
Yeah.
And by having that structure, then it is like, the missed opportunity, right?
Mm.
Like, would I have had that opportunity if I've been like, no, I've got this day lined up like that?
Yeah.
Um, and I've run into that recently with traveling with another, and it was
Mm.
like, and I'm like, dude, you just gotta learn to trust the process. Like, I'm like, I totally trust the universe to get me where I need to go when
Yeah.
I need to get there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
And so, in the instance of had I been here a couple hours early, I may not have met that person, but I
Yeah.
showed up right on time,
Yeah.
right where I needed to be,
Mm.
and things work out. And it was really interesting because I'm like, as I'm hearing myself say that, I'm smiling. I'm like, yeah, Sophie, you've learned this.
Yes.
I don't feel comfortable enough within yourself that yes, you are being led to where you need to be and you show up right at the time to be there.
Yeah.
And there's a relief in trusting that, right?
Yeah.
And understanding that growth too. Like
Mm.
I think it's something to be celebrated,
Yeah.
because there are many steps that have led to this,
Mm. Mm.
and a part of that is that evolution of growth and the previous experiences and past experiences that have led to this. And
Mm.
I'm thankful for all of it. I'm thankful for every step of the way,
Mm.
and each day having the opportunity to continue to learn and to grow and to expand,
Mm.
and fill in that new skin.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. It really is, isn't it? And yeah. Yes. It's even to the point the other day, I was going to an event and um yeah, these car park that I wanted to have in the car parking building that we have at the venue. And yeah, it turned out that the person who was parked in there wasn't in the timing wasn't right for me to park there. And I had all this other stuff that I was going to do, but then timing just meant that you just had to redirect and change your mind really quickly and just be like, okay, no big deal. No big
Yeah.
deal. No big deal. And, like I can just feel into like some people flying off the handle about something like that. And then you get
Oh
like a
yeah.
passive aggressive message being like, well, you were supposed to be out of the car park, blah, 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 blah. And, it's just like, I just sent her a thumbs up and redirected and found the car park. And, me and my friend that I was with had a really nice walk and we got to look into some shops that we wouldn't have looked in. And she,
Right.
found something that she really liked. And we spoke to a couple of people in there that were really beautiful. And I put up some event posters in there. And then when we got to the shop, it was just normal with the person who was still there. And that just it
Absolutely.
just doesn't need to be, yeah.
Absolutely.
It doesn't need to be this, yeah, I keep coming back to rigidity, like that rigid timelines that we're trying to create for ourselves and not being able to, you know, meld to and adjust to something else, be malleable. Yeah, be like water.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it is those missed opportunities. I found myself on the road in traffic, right? So you hit that roadblock and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so now I have a couple of options here.
Mm,
I can say I'm so bound and determined to get to this next point B,
yeah.
and this is the only route, and I'm gonna stay on this road, regardless if I'm gonna sit my ass in traffic for who knows how long,
Yeah.
staring at the car in front of me, or I'm gonna be bold and say, I'm gonna take this exit.
Mm,
It's gonna take me off road a little bit,
mm,
but I may still get there just a different way, perhaps a more scenic way, you know? Again, trusting I'm going to be led to where I need to go. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened as far as getting off the road. And it's like, wow, I'm here at that place I really wanted to be,
Yeah.
you know. I may have got there a different way, but I got to see all this along the way,
Mm,
and
mm,
it's I guess having a little bit of courage
mm,
and just allowing yourself to let go of
mm,
whatever, I think sometimes like I have found myself like in situations where what I heard is like we work so hard to hold on to something and we work so hard to let go.
mm. Yeah. Well, it's
Like
so hard to let go. Like, right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're
Yeah.
struggling to hold on to whatever that something you think is, but you struggle so hard to let go at the same time. So where do the two meet? At
Mm,
what point do I step into just letting it be and just totally, completely trusting the universe and trusting my guides to get me where I need to be in that time, in that space, in
mm,
that place.
mm,
Um, Removing, like you said, getting out of my head to
mm.
allow myself to go there instead.
Yeah.
Um, because, you know, for me, it's just been, I guess, realizing, the shedding where I'm not comfortable anymore. Like
Mm,
what is not suiting or fitting, like a previous version of myself. When I pray or during certain times of the moons where it's like we're releasing what is no longer serving us, like
mm,
I genuinely mean that. If I'm asking this and I'm stating this and speaking this into my life, then
mm.
what action steps am I doing to support that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You need to have aligned action to get to the thing. We can't just, yeah, keep
Yeah.
visioning or visualizing and asking and then not doing
Otherwise, it's
anything.
spoken words. It's like, so, but where's your part in it? Like, you
Yeah.
realize that you are a part of that equation, right? So I'm waiting on you, like,
Yeah. Exactly.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I was reading on, we had a full moon. We started the month off.
Mm.
And
Yeah, the
so I was
second.
looking up,
Mm.
right, April 1st, 2nd, right? So full moon
Yeah.
in Libra,
Mm.
which I think of Libra as like the balance, right?
Mm.
The
Yeah.
scales, balancing relationships, personal autonomy, and emotional harmony.
Mm.
So I was kind of reflecting tonight as far as like some of the spiritual significances of April. I know I'm going into spring, you guys are in autumn.
Mm.
As far as what does this signify? And so from what I was reading, so we start off with the full moon, focusing on balancing relationships, personal autonomy, and emotional harmony, also viewed as a destiny reset.
Mm.
This lunation demands truth and accountability, pushing for alignment between inner needs,
Mm.
time for releasing and balancing, and embracing renewal.
Mm.
Um, Highlighting the need to harmonize relationships without sacrificing self identity. Relationship and friendship redirection, forcing awareness. Um, Again, a destiny reset. So it's the first full moon after the spring equinox, or it would be the fall equinox for
Mm.
you.
Yes.
Um, Profound, signifying profound personal growth and renewal.
Mm.
Um, Evaluate connections, see where you're out of balance,
Mm.
setting intentions. So then now we are moving into a new moon.
Mm.
right? So, and I think that's coming up here in a few days.
Yeah, a few days in Aries. Yeah, that Aries energy that's really strong at the moment.
Momentum, right? Forward
Yeah,
momentum. Yes.
yeah. And that stack of all those planets and yeah,
What were they calling it? A pile of planets or something?
a
Seven planets in
planet pile
alignment?
up.
Yeah, right.
Planet
I've
pile
never
up, I
quite
think.
heard that before. That's
Yeah.
pretty
I
interesting.
don't think I've ever experienced anything, well, not that I've been aware of. Maybe, when I was younger it happened, but since being more aware of everything, like, yeah, haven't experienced it like that. So, yeah, in the next few days, all those planets in Aries. Mm,
April 17th, new moon 27 degrees of Aries brings an energetic reset
mm,
centered around healing through action.
mm. Yes, through healing, through action, through doing things, through the alignment of stepping out and doing things. I love that. Momentum, move.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is the first new moon of the new astrological year happening in the first sign of the zodiac.
Yeah.
This lunation's energy is particularly strong and brings a potent wave of renewal into our lives, closely conjunct both Chiron and Aries.
Mm,
Um, bring this Aries new moon is to bring a new chapter of healing, challenging us to speak our truth and step into things even if they are deeply uncomfortable.
mm, 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 mm,
Confronting old patterns of avoidance, self doubt, and fear of taking action,
mm,
allowing us to initiate changes that align with our true self.
mm,
Yeah, wow, that's intense.
mm. That is. There's a lot of, yeah, action and momentum, like you say. And with that, the Aries being the first for the new moon, but then also for that seven planet pile up, it's the first for all of them. So it's just like massive, like new change now,
Yeah,
right?
talking about stacking things up, right?
Yeah.
Talking about it, yeah, stacked. Wow.
Yeah.
I want to think of too, like, as I've taken this road trip, right? We're all on this road trip in the journey of life, and like
Yeah.
really, the last time we were on, and we were in the closing of, that final shed,
Mm,
right? That
yeah.
final shed.
And the snake.
Um,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm,
So when I think of like Chiron, right, as the
mm,
wounded healer,
mm,
and a lot of what has really, a lot of really what came up for me towards the closing of it was like a deep, dark look into the mirror as to really unveiling anything that was left hidden in the closet, any
mm,
triggers, any wounds that really had to surface
mm.
to be faced head on,
Yeah.
as far as what do I need to like move forward? Like what is literally holding me back in
Mm,
instance of
mm,
taking that next step and that new chapter and
mm,
moving forward. And so
mm,
I think a lot of that with Chiron being the wounded healer, um, and bringing up some of that, any old pain or any triggers or vulnerabilities that may need may need to be faced.
But also being in
Um,
Aries, like the wounded healer, but in Aries, it's like actually I'm going to rise through all of that and actually
okay,
just stand in my power because of it. Like
you
it's
get what I'm
like I am
saying? Right.
powerful because of it. Yeah. And that's that Aries, like fucking, you know, um,
Absolutely.
full of the courage and the forward momentum and the confidence and the expression and yeah, the individual mindset of like, what am I creating? What am I
Mm.
doing? But that Chiron wounded healer, it's like, yeah, well, I'm powerful because of it rather than I'm weak because of it. Actually, this actually makes me who I am, and I'm and powerful because of it. Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Big
of those
time.
experiences, we can really step in and like self assert ourselves because I'm
Mm,
confident enough to know like I've been here before, I've gone through that, I've experienced this. I think an instance, and that's been a lot of what's coming through is like with a lot of the people I've had the opportunity to work with, it's like I can go there because
mm,
I recognize those wounds or those triggers or because of experiences, so I
mm,
can speak to it confidently
yeah.
because I've been there. So
Mm,
now I can stand up in who I am, right?
yes, totally.
Yeah, that's very interesting that's
Yeah.
coming through in this time.
Mm, mm. Yeah, huge. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
Especially
very
with kind of like
significant.
then Jupiter moves into Aries as well, which is like that expansion. So then expanding, yourself more into that energy output even more, taking up space, creating the things.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm,
Okay, you're right. You're right. Okay, so we've got the sun, moon, Chiron, Aries in the late degrees of Aries,
mm,
squaring both Pluto in the early degrees of Aquarius and Jupiter in Cancer. The
mm,
square to Pluto, from what I read, contributes to intensifying our feelings, invites us to discover deeper motives. Pluto's activation is an opportunity to transform, become more aware of the nature of our desires, explore unconscious motivations. Um, so essentially magnifying that.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah, definitely. It's like that intensifying, right? Expanding, intensifying, definitely. But it's also about like I don't have any Aries in my chart at all. So it's like feeling into, for people that have got a lot of Aries in their chart as well. What's it bringing up for you
Mhm,
at the moment?
mhm.
If Chiron is in Aries in your chart, then you're going to have a lot coming up at the moment, right? Yeah.
Chiron is in my chart, yes.
But no, but is it in Aries?
I'll have to look at that.
Yeah. I
Let me
don't think
just
mine
go.
is. Let's have a look. Uh,
But we have Mars coming through too, and I want to say Mercury.
yeah.
The conjunction of Mars, Saturn, and Mercury and Neptune adds more complexity to this new moon.
Mm. Yeah, see, like I don't have any Aries. My ascendant is Aries actually. So that's like that expansion. That's the only Aries that I have.
Huh.
Mm.
Aligned action.
Yeah. Aligned action, totally. And mm, like expanded action. Like, yeah, aligned, not calculated or not what should I do or not anxious action. Yeah. No anxious, no anxious action. Aligned action. But aligned, what does that mean? That means that like it feels good. It means that it's joyful and fun and exciting and it's in the direction of what you want to create for your life, you know? Yeah.
Is that what it feels like to you? Like when you think about that? Like a
Mm,
description of the word?
yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Mm. But that new moon in Aries was that healing through action. So like pushing through, right? Like, mm. even if it feels uncomfortable, um, to continue to move towards things, even if it's like micro actions, like just do something small every day towards the bigger thing, like I'm
Yes.
putting on a retreat at the end of the year, or not the in September, with a friend, and that feels like quite a big thing, 3 day retreat, but it's like micro actions towards it. What's like one small thing that I do each day that accumulates towards it being a successful event? Like, I don't need to do everything that I need to do in one day. It's like,
Mm.
what are the small incremental things that all build up to you know, be the final product, and not treating it like an exam at high school where
Right.
you cram the night before. There's no
Right.
there's no cramming the night before when you're creating your life and you're doing, you've got a vision out there that you're
But
wanting
then
to.
you may indeed meet some roadblocks then.
Yeah.
What you
Exactly.
had shared too last time, Nicola, in our last witchy talk is kind of like thinking about your future self, right?
Oh yeah.
And setting yourself up like for
Mm,
that next step. Like
mm,
I've pre-prepared my lunch for tomorrow, so it's one less thing I have to worry about doing in the morning. Like
mm,
I've got my coffee machine set up because I know I've got to have my coffee first thing in the morning, so it's already brewing for me. And
mm,
so I think finding things along the way that can help assist yourself. So it's
mm,
not like a necessary, like I feel like I have to cram everything in last minute in a day or two, but I
mm,
can take steps along the way so things kind of flow and
mm.
do naturally come into alignment because I'm essentially supporting myself along the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then the synchronicities and the aligned action can just come because you're not like micromanaging yourself in every moment because you've forgotten to do all these things. So you're not like scrambling through the day, right? We don't want to be
Right?
scrambling through the day. We want to be like just flowing with the day. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah. So if we like set ourselves up, totally. Totally, totally. And even setting ourselves up for, not even just tomorrow, but, if I have this event in September and I think, well, what are the things that I can do today? Like I was just saying, I can start to lay out what I want to do for the, different aspects of the retreat, and it might change between now and then, but at least I'm starting to create a structure rather than like a few days before be like, oh, okay, so what am I going to bring, And that can work
Hmm.
too. And that can work too. And we trust
Hmm.
ourselves to bring that. But I think, yeah, the more we can set our, way future self up. And that's the whole thing about your retirement fund is like setting your way
Right.
future. So you're like,
Right.
we talked about this and I haven't done it, but getting the AI scan thing where it makes you look really old.
The 90 hair thing.
A 90-year-old Nicola, and then like printing that out and putting it up on the wall and being like, okay, everything I'm doing is setting that person up to have a good fucking time, right?
Oh, for
And
sure.
yeah. So what am I doing to make sure that I'm having a good time, in 5 years? What am I doing to make sure I'm having a good time in 10 years? And yeah, I think that's having that gratitude for your past self. So if you can, yeah, set yourself up well, then you're radiating gratitude into your past, and that just lifts you into your future rather than your past feeling like a weight. And that's that timeline collapsing that I talk about, like collapsing
Right.
those old timelines that are running. We're like overthinking about like the thing that was embarrassing, the thing that was,
Yes.
yeah, that was hard, or why did why did that not work out with that person? Or, yeah, anything, that we overthink and we can collapse those, then that's not heavy. We're not being weighed down by the past. Yeah.
Yeah, and healing those timelines we had shared about, I think by honoring those past experiences or past layers in the sense of previous experiences I've had on the road so far,
Mm.
um, honoring all those aspects of myself, like those moments of maybe feeling regret or guilt or shame or not very proud of things I've done or experiences or ways I felt it could have been better.
Mm.
But understanding that, or the situation I was in, or that I was young, or
Mm.
maybe didn't know better, or had to have that experience again, or multiple times, to
Yeah.
realize, ooh, I don't like this, or I can be better, or I will be better.
Mm.
Um, but allowing ourselves to honor that, that is what has helped me a lot, and a lot that we've shared with each other has really help to understand and bring light to that situation too, is
Mm.
to heal like past layers or timelines, is like honoring and respecting that person
Mm.
in a caring and loving way,
Yeah. Oh, totally.
you
Yeah.
know
Version of yourself.
opposed to,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
because then I'm changing the view that I have on that person, opposed to like Sophia wanting to point fingers, or, man, you
Mm.
shouldn't have said that, or you shouldn't have done that, or feeling shame or anxiety or resentment. How
Yeah.
do I shift those things so when it comes back around, the view and the perspective, you had talked about a shift of perspective when you reach those roadblocks,
Mm. Mm.
is now shifted, right? It's changed to where, okay, now on the fly, yes, I've been here before, so things are moving faster and do align and do come into that aligned action because, oh, you recognize it faster instead of allowing
Yes.
yourself to go there with the
Yes.
self-doubt and the fear and the anger and the shame and all that stuff that has been now moved out and cleared out of the dusty ass closet.
Yeah.
So
Fuck yeah.
everything's refreshed. And I've
Yes.
got the stuff hanging there that's going to fit me now and look good on me too,
Yes.
Um, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think
Totally.
that forward movement. So I was reading earlier, actually, moving forward requires courage to leave the past behind and embrace change, often requiring action despite fear or uncertainty.
Mm.
Focusing on personal growth, overcoming struggles through consistent effort, and
Mm.
making an active choice to create a new, better future rather than dwelling on what has passed.
Mm. And like the dwelling and the projecting regret and shame and things, and not resolving that, when you, like what you said, when a similar situation comes up, if a similar situation comes up and we haven't like healed that or aligned that part in us, then we get the anxiety and the trigger, then we get triggered in that situation. So I've got cold, I've got cold feet, so I'm starting to cough. And so if we can get that perspective shift and that vantage point on, understanding ourselves in a different way from what we did and why we did it, and we didn't know better, and we were just trying our best, and to relate to that version of self rather than like berating. Relate, don't berate your past
Oh my goodness.
self.
You got a new one. I love it. Yes.
Fuck
That's what
yeah.
I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. That's a level up.
Yes.
Relate,
Oh,
don't
yes.
berate. And then when you get into that similar situation, you can be like, I've learned from that now, and I can apply myself differently and not be triggered in this situation. And like you said before, I know this, I've been here before, but I now have the perspective where I can operate differently because I've learned from my past mistakes. And if we don't learn from it, then we just ruminate in it and continually get triggered each time we're exposed. We just get
Right.
triggered and re-trigger, and we just compounding anxiety that means that we can't, move through it. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when it escalates, you know. That's when it escalates, like when I reflect on it, on situations where it got so bad and we had that nervous breakdown and when we were experiencing that and it led to, affecting me spiritually and mentally and emotionally and physically, like holistically,
Mm,
where it became so uncomfortable as to now I've got fucking nervous system
mm,
dysregulation where the anxiety is so balled up. You
mhm,
have no option but to move through it at that point
mm.
and fucking push the ball along, as painful as it is.
Yeah.
Um, but there are ways to go about it where it does not have to get to that extent, right?
Yes.
Where
Totally.
you start
Exactly.
to recognize it, sense it, and more so now I feel it. I
Mm.
feel it when it's like, okay, time to turn this ship around.
Yeah, you can feel like the trigger starting, right? And then you start to
Mm.
kind of then that's a perspective shift though, right? That's like I've got some notes here from this is really something that I've been looking at recently, and
Okay.
that is there was a really good phrase around that, but it's like witnessing yourself in it and pausing when it starts and observing your reaction to it and not judging yourself and not trying to change it, but just noticing. And so then when you notice that it's starting, you're not you change your mental state changes to I'm a victim, I'm being triggered, oh my God, it's happening again.
Mm.
Like my nervous system's
Mm.
dysregulated, like, and then you're like, if you can like flip something and then notice, you're like, oh, okay, it's happening. And then you can almost, yeah, like witness yourself going through it, then you can shift it and you can move into like, I need to do some breath work. Maybe I should do some vagal toning. I'm gonna hum, I'm gonna
For
hum.
sure.
I'm gonna hum a little tune and regulate my nervous system. And then you create these yeah, like protocol for ourselves that works to shift and be like, okay, well, what just happened? Like, what is the trigger? And something I learned recently is that when we are re it's right there. I haven't integrated it enough to be like, Uh, it's like a new framing of something accumulating. Da, 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 da. What we were just talking about? What was it?
I'm just saying you got to relate and not berate.
Yeah, relate and not berate. Exactly, exactly. So when your nervous system gets dysregulated and the trigger, no, it was to do with the trigger. Ah, I want to get it because it's really good, but I've got so many notes here.
So we're understanding, like for me it's like I feel it now and it's like, okay, Soph, walk away or
Mm,
don't go there. But for me, that's when I start pulling out the tools,
yeah,
right? That's when it's like, what works for you? Find what works for
yeah,
you. What
yeah,
is going to help walk you through that? For me, it's like, okay, time to take the shoes off and go walk out on the grass.
yeah.
Or I need
Oh
to just
yeah,
let
get
my hands
grounded.
up to the sky, right? Get grounded.
Yeah.
Um, or do a visual cleanse, like, you know, okay, release sound. I ring a bell or something to
Mm,
get me. out of it, or just the resonance of that,
Mm,
right? You find what works for you. And the only way you're going to find what works for you is by experiencing it and
yeah.
going through that experience. How did I move through that trigger? How did I move through that instance? And what worked for me?
Mm.
Okay, now I'm going to put this in my tool belt.
Yeah, totally, totally. And this was the thing that I was getting to is when you get triggered, it's a program that you're running that you have anxiety about, and you're actually searching for it. So if you have a trigger, you're actually like scanning constantly for it. And so this is dysregulating your nervous system, and it's almost like an
Wow.
energy link, right? Yeah.
Wow,
And
that's
so
deep.
yeah, so it's like subconsciously running in the background that you're constantly scanning for this. And when when we don't realize we have a trigger, a way to hone in on what it might be is, do I react disproportionately to something? Like, am I being like outrageously offended by something that's not really that offensive? Or
Yeah,
am
yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like, where is my reaction not in proportion to the things that are happening around me? So we're not understanding that we're being triggered sometimes, right? We're just like, this is just my
Exactly.
personality. This is just like, the way I operate in the world. And sometimes if we're constantly scanning for that, it's because we want to react to it as well. We want to, it's like feeding, we're
Crazy.
feeding to it, right? And so, yeah,
Wow.
so it's like noticing those things, and if we react disproportionately to it, and if something happens or you're avoiding something and you always have a almost like a prescribed way that you react to something, then it's a looping trigger. So if someone always says a particular word or a phrase and you always react the same way to it,
Right.
then there's something to look at in you as to like, why do I always react the same way to that? And mine do
Right.
do a little Minecraft in that, like, what is in there that I can unravel. Yeah,
It's almost like a coping mechanism, but like a pattern that you've allowed yourself to develop.
yeah,
Because either like maybe it feels comfortable or that's just a natural reaction.
yeah,
So what you're saying is dig deeper,
yeah.
dig deeper.
Yeah, totally. Like some people
Yeah.
who are just like naturally impatient. It's like it's not just part of your personality. Like that's like compounding triggers that are just like, being exacerbated because you're not actually like looking at what the thing is around, why you're impatient. So some of the things can be like little triggers that we don't understand. Like,
Right.
sometimes we have big triggers like, I can't listen to that band because that person that I went out with, that was their favorite band, and it takes you years and years and years to be able to listen
Yeah,
to
I
that
can't go
band
to that
again.
restaurant anymore or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's just like super obvious trigger, right? But then sometimes there's like these little like interwoven things that we like, yeah, like, and we don't need to know why they're there. It's just like observing the pattern that you naturally have around something, and then inquire and be like, well, why am I allowing my energy to be siphoned into that area and deplete
Mm.
me. Um,
Mm.
so that's an interesting perspective that I've gained from a few different things that I've been watching and taking notes on recently. And then I haven't applied them completely to myself yet because it's like new things as well that I'm just like, whoa, that's a fucking cool perspective shift, right? And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, we can like break those things down. We can, yeah, get more into that aligned action, and that healing through action is taking that action, even if it's uncomfortable, to look at ourselves or look at myself and be like, yeah, why do I have that same reaction to that same thing every single time? Like, what is that prescribed action that I've allocated myself to experience rather than shifting it and taking a different action the next time?
For
And then
sure.
seeing where that can evolve. Because our prescribed actions that we give ourselves based on our interactions daily, like, how are you doing today? I'm fine. It's like, a prescribed interaction you have with someone in a shop.
Right.
Hey, how's your day? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay. Da, da, da. Prescribed action, it's a really basic example, but like, what are our and be like, well, what if I actually said something different? Where would that change my reality? So if I can look at
Right.
all the ways that I have prescribed actions that I take unconsciously as well, because it's like unconscious
Right.
programming that creates your personality, and be like, well, every time someone asks me that, I always say this, like, what if I take a pause when someone asks me that and be like, go to say the thing and be like, no, I don't want to say that. Rewind quickly, and then actually I'm going to say something different, and change the tone, and the whole world could change, right?
Absolutely, it can. And I've actually done that recently
Yeah.
because it's a natural course of action. I guess a polite thing for people to do is like say, "How are you doing?" And the natural response is good.
Mm.
So the other day I said, "No, I'm not good."
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that as a natural response because it's going to make you feel comfortable. Or maybe that's what the person's expecting to hear because that's just the polite and courteous thing to do.
Yeah.
How's your day? How are you doing? Good. So naturally, the other person is expecting that response because that's the most people say.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, you wouldn't you like to know? I can tell you I'm doing good because that's what you want to hear, but I'm actually not. This is actually how my day's going.
Yeah.
And it opened it up to I had a parts gal come in. She's like, oh my gosh, me too. So
Yeah.
by allowing me to respond differently,
Mm.
it offered her the opportunity to let some stuff go,
Mm.
share a moment, recognize it, and then kind of laugh like, okay, well, actually my day's going better now. Thanks. I can say I am good.
Yeah.
So by
Yeah.
allowing that shift in perspective or a different approach or a different way of approaching things may open a completely, different way or door. I found myself in this with the painting of a doorway, and I was like, one window, is closing, and other one's opening because it is that shift or it is a different opportunity to, you know, um, project and not expect,
Mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
you know.
Checked. Not.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know this
Mm.
this forward momentum. And what I'm hearing when you say like the scanning, right, it's kind of like dissecting things and finding where the root cause or problem may be.
Mm.
Like it's like little I'm thinking of like a virus, like almost like a computer that
Mm.
is constantly scanning the background for viruses.
Mm, mm, mm.
And like, or if you even look at like certain like cellular like viruses, right? How they kind of cling on to things.
Mm,
They
mm, mm.
kind of stick.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm seeing like this program is constantly running in the background, right? Because
Mm,
it's a set program that is just runs for that software or whatever that was uploaded. So it's the program that's running and is constantly scanning, and little things may cling on to it, like, oh, I've recognized this. Oh, this is a weak spot here. Oh, your immune system's down because you're feeling cold. So I'm going to stick to this. I'm going to stick to that. So at some point, you either got to reboot the system,
mm,
reset the software, update,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
Clear out those old viruses, or
New
maybe just get a
download.
whole new fucking computer. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Got to upgrade the computer. We are the computer, right? Upgrade the system. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Mm,
think I think too with a lot of the gained experience for me has been not only recognizing the triggers in myself, but a little bit of comical relief because I'm
mm,
a very visual person, is
mm,
usually I may recognize a pattern that
mm,
I've had in somebody else or somebody I meet or these recent trips I've done, where it's like, come on, girlfriend, relax. And I'm like, oh my gosh, but I can recognize that
yeah.
because it was a thing of impatience or a thing of like, I'm so stressed out because I gotta be there and I'm going a certain way. And like, and
Mm,
I'm like, I can tell you're stressing out, man, but like you need to relax and trust the process. And
mm,
in the back of my mind, I'm smiling because I'm like, I've realized I've graduated, and I'm just like,
Yes.
damn, I see how that looks and like fuck, and I'm
Yes.
just and that's
Yeah.
pretty cool too.
Totally.
Yeah, most definitely. I had a couple of quotes I wanted to share in closing as we're moving forward with this forward momentum.
Mm,
Um, so a couple different things came through. Um, Stay afraid, but do it anyway.
mm,
What's important is the action.
mm,
You don't have to wait to be confident, just do it, and eventually the confidence will follow.
mm,
The late, great Carrie Fisher.
mm. Yeah, wow. Beautiful.
We can't become what we need to be by remaining what we are.
Mm, mm,
Oprah Winfrey.
mm,
Be not afraid of growing slowly, be afraid of standing still.
mm,
A Chinese proverb.
mm,
And one that really struck a chord, actually, two more. One is a poet and an activist, Angela Davis. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change.
mm,
I am changing the things I cannot accept.
mm. That's amazing. You should read it again. Read it again.
Yes, I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
That hit
That is a
me.
massive perspective shift. Yeah. Mm,
And our friend Marilyn Monroe shares sometimes good things fall apart so better things could fall together.
yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Awesome. Thank
Yes,
you.
most definitely. Absolutely. And because I've been on this great road trip and visiting with some of my most loved bands, for those that are open to checking out something different and a little bit of musical inspiration. Um, so there is a song called Swamped by Lacuna Coil. It's a gothic metal song focusing on overcoming emotional baggage, letting go of past shame, and finding strength. It reflects on overcoming personal struggles such as depression, toxic situations, and features themes of self discovery, resilience, and navigating through difficult life changes.
Mm,
So I just had the pleasure of seeing them. I wanted to share that. And what has come through from Dark Tranquility is a song called Forward Momentum.
mm,
And so that is also focusing on moving forward um, in life despite personal losses, emotional baggage, exploring those themes of basically seizing the day, focusing on the present rather than dwelling on the past.
Mm.
So I just wanted to share that
Yeah.
with
Beautiful.
y'all. So
Thank you. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
tuning in to
Mm.
aligned action.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. And healing through aligned action. Yeah, I love that. Amazing.
Mm, mm.
Ah,
Yes,
well, thank you for joining me tonight, Sophia, for
absolutely. Peace and
amazing
love, guys.
witchy talk. Yeah, totally.
Progress is progress, man. Each
Mm.
step matters. And if you hit a fucking roadblock, maybe, hit the brakes and decide to take a right off the freeway, man. Who knows what you
Take the
might
scenic
find?
route.
That's right.
Take the
Enjoy the
scenic route.
road.
Like
Crank
and
up some
subscribe if you've made it
tunes.
this far.
Hit that bell.
Yes. All
Visit
right.
the well of the eternal spring that is within that never ends. And
Mm.
remember that you can begin again, my friend. We
Mm.
are on this journey. We are all on our journey. Don't let those obstacles get in the way. Find truth, love, and courage each day as we move forward with the momentum to find the aligned action within ourselves and where we can dwell to find some peace of mind, heart, and healing. Know
Mm.
that we are there. We are getting there. We are going there. We are growing there. Right?
Right.
Relate and
I don't
don't
remember.
berate.
Oh yeah, relate, don't berate. Relate, don't berate. All
Thanks
right.
for staying up late and joining us. Peace and love from the
You
AZ all the way.
to the NZ and everything in between. Yeah.
So much love.
All right. Bye.